Well, here we are, week two. I think one thing I neglected to say, I think after the game, I always talk about the fans and the student body, but I've talked about over analyzing the lack of people or atmosphere in the stadium when in reality our kids did not have a problem with it. Actually, they handled it really well. And I think that the band and the cheerleaders and the dance, I think they really did create some semblance of a good environment. And you watch some of the NFL stuff and it just looks eerie because sometimes there's nobody in the crowd, and then you don't hear that that background noise other than maybe just some crowd noise that they're playing. But when you actually have the band and things like that, I think it adds a lot more to it. And so obviously I'm happy for that. I appreciate them and what they do. I'm not sure that standing the whole time is exactly what they had in mind, but it does add something. And hopefully we can continue to move forward with, at some point in time, allowing some of our students the opportunity to be able to get in and be a part of it as well, as we continue to move on in the season. But nonetheless, it was a great opener for us. Really, really excited for Jared Dokes, who obviously had 4 touchdowns, but just the way he handled everything, the way he went about it, he did it in many different fashions. It wasn't that he carried the ball 25 times, but he caught the ball in the backfield. He caught the ball from obviously playing the quarterback position. He did a really, really good job on the one punt that we had. You're just seeing the multifacets of what Jared can do, that he probably hasn't had as many opportunities based on injuries and in the situation the last few years. But I think it was a great way to get started, playing a lot cleaner. I think we were challenged too. I think defensively we got challenged a little bit more, and I think in the long run it'll pay off for us. Some of those young guys went in the football game, and it wasn't like somebody had folded up. I give Austin Peay some credit for continuing to let it rip and continuing to play different than what they maybe did the week before when they got down. So it was an opportunity for some of those younger guys to get in and actually have to defend a lot of things that you wouldn't normally have to defend maybe at late in a game. So all in all, got a lot of experience. I think 30-some players played defensively and 30-some players played offensively, which was going to vote well for us in the long run.
Okay, let's go with questions. Justin, why don't you lead us off? Coach, aside from the game day atmosphere stuff, what about the lead up from the rapid testing on Friday and anything different that you might have had to do between then and game day this year with the new protocol and stuff like that?
No, I think guys are becoming, I don't want to say getting used to the new norms, because I don't think it's going to be, but I think guys are used to different things and a little bit of adversity. We have a unique way, we spend time together on a Friday night at a hotel, and it was just a little bit different, just based on the different things you got to do and be able to keep your distance and even wearing the masks and things. But to be honest with you, once we walked in the building, I don't know that there was a whole lot of difference. I think guys are used to wearing masks, so in the locker room that might be the only thing. And like I said, the atmosphere they were not affected. So I think it's not normal, but I think it's becoming very understandable, and we're finding our way to still do the things we need to do and create the things we need to create.
Okay, go ahead with your question when ready.
Coach, any update on Alec Pierce today? How's his knee, and what do you expect from him hopefully?
I don't think Alec is going to make it. Actually, he had his knee scoped last week, and it'll be a few weeks. We don't know exactly how long. They were hoping maybe to go in and not have to do it, but he's probably going to be a few weeks down. And I think it's some great opportunity for some other guys. We got a lot of guys in that wide receiver room. Obviously Alec is missed, but hopefully he'll be back here shortly.
Coach, you got a scouting report on what you can expect from Army this weekend?
Yeah, you can expect a dive, you can expect the quarterback, and you can expect a pitch. I think it's pretty consistent, but the unique thing that they do, is obviously be able to mix it up formationally and different things, and they're gonna take what you'll give them, and so they're always gonna have some different things. And the uniqueness of not having a game last week gives them an opportunity to work on a lot of different things. So I think we'll see some different things than maybe we saw in week 1 and week 2. But for the most part, I mean, they are a physical football team. I think, you've seen a lot of improvements from what they were last year into this year, and has a lot to do with the quarterback, but I think it has a lot to do with how they play up front, both offensively and defensively. You can see maybe a little bit of the extra time that they've had to do maybe even football stuff, where a lot of people in the COVID situation haven't had as much time to do some football things. Maybe the military guys have had a little more time in the sense that they haven't had as many of the other obligations. So I think they've probably used this time as well as anybody in the country.
Having given a late announcement that you were going to play Army, did you get enough time to spend time working on the triple option and stuff?
Well, I think as you go into a game, you never feel like you've had enough time to work on something that you don't see in triple option. Maybe is that, but it is what it is. I mean, this is what you're given, and this is what you have to do. And we've played Navy a few times. Obviously, they're still different. They do some uniquely different things. But all in all, you've at least played it a few times. You've seen what not to do. You've seen what did work. I think you got to be able to adjust and adapt. And the key comes down to doing what it is that you do. And I think the unique thing for us is, we were a big-time 4-down team when we played, in the first couple of years, and we've kind of adjusted and adapted a little bit, but to be more of a 3-down team. So we've got to be able to adjust what we do to fit what our guys feel most comfortable doing.
But you have to spend a lot of time on that 2018 Navy game, off-season leading up to it and everything like that. How, you mentioned they're a little different. How are they different, and how much does that 2018 prep apply to this coming week?
Well, it always applies, because I think the speed of the game is what is so unique when you start to play Navy. How you prepare is really big, or when you play Army, when you play a triple option team. Year 1, when we, the first time we played the triple option in the Navy, I don't think we were obviously not very well prepared, but I think the speed of the game really was what was unique. I think our guys just had not seen that. So, playing them in year 2, obviously we did better. I think it was a lot of the preparation. It was a lot of understanding the speed of the game. These guys are different in a sense that I think they're bigger. They kind of pride themselves on being a little bit more physical, with just the size of their offensive line, the size of their fullbacks. But I think what they've done different from maybe the last year to this year is they've had a little bit more balance. They found themselves maybe a dynamic slot back that can hit the home run, with 2 or 3 fullbacks that not only are bruisers, but obviously you've seen kind of break some things loose and rumble for some long yardage. So unique in a lot of different situations. Just like we've got to be a little bit different from what we've done in the past couple of years, based on who we are and what our guys feel most comfortable doing as well.
What do you like about Jaden Thompson, and how can he as a deep threat help with Alec out for a couple weeks?
Well, I mean, I think that Jaden has shown us a lot of things through fall camp, and I think that was one of those big things. I think for the young guys coming in, it was a tough time. They didn't get to come in normal time in the summer, but what they did get to do is when they were in here, we actually got to work with them a little bit more. So I think it helped the growth of, maybe all those young wide receivers, but Jaden in particular, being a guy that has some ability that, can step in there and do some things early on before he has to be taught everything. So he's got a unique, kind of balance between a guy that can, stretch the field a little bit, some really good ball skills, and he's not afraid to put his nose in there. If you see the second play of the game, he goes in and cracks a safety and really does a good job. And it kind of shows you as a young guy, he's not afraid to go kind of stick it in there and do some of the things that maybe you didn't come to University of Cincinnati to do. You came maybe to catch touchdown passes and go deep. Now we ask you to kind of bend in there and take out a safety or two.
Luke, obviously you want to see improvements each week. Is there something you didn't see last week that you want to see on Saturday?
Well, I think defensively we got to get off the field. I think some of that bend but don't break. We had a few too many third down situations where we didn't capitalize, or some of those third down situations that we gave an opportunity to get within 1 to 2 yards where they're going to be aggressive and go for it. I think offensively it's just hitting some big plays. I mean, we did a really good job at moving the football, taking what was given to us. I complimented, obviously, Dez on the maturity that everybody wants to take some shots, especially when you get up, but still continue to take the things that are given to you. I want to see us maybe have some more opportunities to stretch the field a little bit more, give those wideouts some chances to get down the field. So I think different on both sides of the football, but obviously in a uniquely different game based on how Army will play offensively and how they limit you to the number of possessions maybe as your offense. So I think that where you want to do some things and get some things going that maybe you didn't do in week one, this is obviously something you got to have a kind of a unique game plan for, though.
Coach, this game obviously got added a little bit late, and when you had some of those schedule changes, you were pretty open that you were open to playing games and looking for games. You easily could have taken this week off before conference play started. Why was that your mindset to look for something and add something?
Our guys want to play. Our guys have prepared a long time, and I think that it's only right to them. And you didn't really know how the season was going to go. It was still early yet. I mean, you were kind of curious if you only got a few games in, or if you were going to miss some games. So for all the work being put in, I know our guys love to play, and I try and say football is 85% work. Practices are not like playing games. You don't go live. You don't get some of the exciting, fun things that you always have an opportunity to do, and you get 12 guaranteed paydays, I say. And those are the games. And knowing that this year there might not be a guaranteed 12, you felt like, hey, let's get any opportunity we can to play the game of football. There's only one way to get better, and that's playing it. And I think that's what that's what I love about what Austin Peay did. I mean, they found the games they could get in, got them in. They're going to get better. They're going to be a lot better football team, whether it's in the spring or next fall. And I really kind of feel like we got to be able to do the same thing.
Any other questions, guys?
I'll go one more, cause a lot of those guys were on this roster in 2018 when you played Navy, but maybe didn't have a chance to get in and play. What's the key for those guys who saw all the work you did but didn't necessarily get on the field and experience? What was the key to going against a triple option offense like this for those defenders?
Well, I don't think it's just the defense. I think the offense has got to understand too. Just based on the uniqueness of possessions at times. But I think it's what the preparation can do for you. I think the thing I remember most about the 18 game is after the game when Cortez went into the press conference, and the first thing he did was thank the scout team, knowing how important those guys are, especially to a unique offense that the defense doesn't see all the time. And I think that's going to be the same way on the other side of the ball. They do some unique things defensively that we don't see a ton of. So it's going to be really, really, really important for our guys to give them the best look possible. And, obviously we talk about the triple option, and it's, a little bit more skewed towards that when you talk about this. But I think the preparation is so important, the ability to play the thing with speed. It's not just the physicality. It's going to be physical. It's hard sometimes in practice to do all the cutting that you may see in a game. But I think the speed of it, the quickness of it, and that's not just from the motions and the slot backs, that's also from the offensive line as well. So I think more than anything from 2018, I think we all learned how important the preparation is.